right, good morning, students. If you're watching this video, it is probably Friday, May 1st. I'm going to go over your last assignment for your week. What are we in? 6, I guess, for week 6. So today, during your Zoom meeting, we're going to go over good leads, and we're going to add a good lead to your opinion piece that you wrote on Wednesday. So if you attended our Zoom meeting, actually, let's go back just a little bit because one of you wasn't able to attend our meeting. So on Wednesday, we read, "Why Can't I Vote If I Must Fight?" We highlighted key ideas. We had a few discussion questions. Then your assignment for Wednesday and Thursday was to do your vocabulary, page 27. Also work on your assessment questions, page 28. And I'll post a key so you can check it maybe Monday morning. Then we worked on completing our graphic organizer for comparing and contrasting the structures and the ideas of the two passages. Your writing assignment was to write 2 paragraphs, one of how they're the same, and we came up with a topic sentence, and one on how they're different, and we came up with a topic sentence for that one too. Your last writing assignment that we went over on Wednesday was, in my opinion, they should or should not change the 18 to 18. And we said you're going to start off with a topic sentence, and it might be, in my opinion, they should or should not. And you're going to give 2 reasons, but then you're going to give examples or details explaining those reasons. Then on the bottom, it says write 2 detailed paragraph essay. And then your last assignment for yesterday on your leads, this would be for Thursday, is said to, and you might be doing it Friday because we're a little behind on ELA since I missed our Zoom meeting. I apologize for that. I had craziness going on with people moving in. But you're going to add an introduction to that, and we're going to talk about that more when we go over good leads. I'm going to go over your last assignment. So if you watched your good leads video that I just put up online, or you participated in the Zoom meeting, you looked at your good leads sheet, you watched the PowerPoint video, or you participated in Zoom, you practiced identifying the type of lead that was used and evaluating which is the best lead or hook. Then you did some fun practice using the different types with some made-up topics. And this is in your packet. It's called Plain Hooky. We did the first one together. You have 4 more to do on your own. Actually, only 3 more to do on your own. And then this is your very last writing assignment. Now, I'm assuming that you're watching this late Friday, but you probably won't complete this assignment to Monday. You don't have any other assignments listed for social studies and language arts for Monday. This is going to be your only assignment to give you plenty of time to finish it. All right, so you're going to think about the point of view or perspective of the author from our first passage, and then the messages on the sign and the flyer from the second passage. You're going to be asked to decide if the first author would agree or disagree with the message, and explain why. All right, so the voting age is 21 for a reason. Who sent out this message? They had a very specific perspective. Yes, it was the people that wanted to keep the voting age at 21. And who said the message, old enough to fight, old enough to vote? Young people, right? People that were 18 to 20. They could be drafted for the war, but they didn't yet have the right to vote. So what is the main idea of this message? What is it trying to say? So kind of the same thing. We could probably say older people. In the story, it was his father, right? And then what was the message for this one? If I can fight, I should vote, be old enough to vote, and help make laws. Laws like the draft. Okay, so think about the point of view of the very first story that we read. Voting in America. Remember, it was a letter. And remember, the person was explaining why people don't vote. And do you remember some of the reasons that they argued or explained why people don't vote? Well, they said that only 50% of Americans vote, which is way different than 80% in most countries. And some of the things they talked about is that people just don't feel like their vote matters. Maybe they're moving around a lot because they're young. Maybe they don't know what the issues are to vote on. Or maybe their work life is so hectic and busy they can't take off. And do you remember what they said were some of the ways that other countries have worked on this? You know, they said this in other countries, sometimes they're automatically registered. The government does it. All right, so thinking, now that you've reminded yourself kind of what that story was about, what is that author's view? So that was that author's view. What is this author's view about voting? What do they think about voting? How do they feel about young people voting? All right, so the first author feels like kids wouldn't make good choices. Remember, the poster has little kindergartners voting. Simone, get out of there. But what about this one? How do they feel about voting? Do you remember what he says? He's responsible and mature. Okay, so now thinking back on this other author, how do you think she would feel about these two points of view? Would the author of Voting in America agree that kids wouldn't make a good choice? Do you think she would agree with them? Well, you could probably argue both ways. She might agree because she talks about how young people don't bother to vote. But she gives lots of other ideas too. So you don't have to use this one. You can definitely give your own. You're welcome to say she might agree and disagree, because we often do that too. But what about this one? Kids are responsible and mature enough to vote. Do you think she would agree with that statement? I'm not going to answer that one for you, but I'd like you to go back and look at the passage and think, is there any evidence that she thinks that young people might be responsible or mature enough to vote? And I'd like you to find one piece of text evidence for this box and one piece of text evidence for this box. All right, so we already completed 3/4 of the graphic organizer together. All you need to do is find your 3 ideas and your 2 pieces of evidence. All right, and we're going to flip it over. So remember, you're working on this on Monday, so you're going to watch this video if you haven't already. You're going to complete your graphic organizer and finish your paragraphs. You need to write an essay explaining which message from Why Can't I Vote If I Must Fight the author of Voting in America would most likely agree with. Give your essay a title and be sure to include details from the selection and use transitions to connect your ideas. It said you have to pick which one you think the author would most agree with. So you're either going to write on this one or write on this one. You don't have to do both unless you want to. So I would, on the side, make sure you have an intro or a hook. Make sure you state your opinion, and then you're going to write the information from the GORG graphic organizer. Don't forget, in the end, you need a conclusion sentence that restates your opinion. Now, they've given you enough space here. I think you can write either 2 paragraphs or a quick introduction and another paragraph and a conclusion sentence. You can pick. We'll focus more on a longer essay another time, but I do want to see how you're organizing this one paragraph. And you're welcome just to follow the graphic organizer. That's why we use them. That's why it's there. All right, so this is your assignment for Monday. This would be May 4th. Don't forget, I am going to be using your scoring rubric. So your grade for your ELA is going to come from completion of all of your writing assignments in your packet, answering your questions, your wanted poster, which is going to be graded using the writing rubric, your writing piece for the first story, that's going to be graded using the writing rubric, comparing and contrasting the 2 stories, that's going to be from the writing rubric, your opinion on the voting age, that's going to be graded using the rubric, and then finally, which text feature would the author of Voting in America agree with a really good introduction that includes a hook or a lead. And that's also going to be graded using the 6+1 traits. All right, happy writing. I'll see you all soon.